And so the spiritual traditions have said that if there is an aliveness, a force, a spirit that enters your body, stays in your body for a while, and then eventually leaves, then you are really that aliveness. You are not this body, you are the spirit that is inside the body. The very basic principle of oneness is that you are part of something greater. That's the first thing that we need to understand. You are connected in a way that you haven't fully appreciated when all you've considered yourself is a person who was born on a particular day, lives a certain number of years and dies. When you just see yourself within that limited window, then you don't understand, well, what was I before this and where will I be after I die? When you understand that, you will start to connect the whole thing together. Your body, where does it come from? Now, we all know the mechanics of where babies come from, but the very physical elements of your body, if you look at your hands, if you look at your legs, your arms, your muscles, your bones, where do all these things come from? And when we start to explore that, we realize that we haven't really understood much about our bodies. One of the examples that I like to think about is if you take a person who is alive, and when that person dies, what has changed? What is it that was in the person who was alive and is not there now in the person when they die? They still have the same heart, they still have the blood in their body, and they have all the organs, and they have the skin and the bones and the muscles. What is the thing that as soon as your body was created was put into you? That's what I am calling aliveness. There is a spark inside you. Call it a spirit, call it divine light if you want to use religious terminology, call it a life force. There's something inside all of us. Now that life force that is inside of us is also inside everything else that is born. Anything else that is created, from insects that you might see in your garden, to birds flying above, to animals, to other human beings, to trees and plants. Everything that is alive also has a life force, a life energy that keeps it alive, because anything that has been born can also die. Now, with our minds, we can't necessarily fully calculate or understand or work out what that thing is. But we can appreciate, yes, right now, I am alive. There is a force inside me that is there all the time. Many spiritual traditions have said that force inside you, whether you believe in a God or anything, is completely irrelevant. That aliveness that is inside you is worthy of your attention. You need to spend some time and look at it. You need to spend some time and connect with it, because it's there. And it's not always going to be there. It's not always going to be connected with this body. At some point, this body was just a small group of cells, and this aliveness force came into it to make it alive. And at some point, this aliveness is going to leave. And so the spiritual traditions have said that if there is an aliveness, a force, a spirit that enters your body, stays in your body for a while, and then eventually leaves, then you are really that aliveness. You are not this body, you are the spirit that is inside the body. And so at some point the body is going to go. So why spend all of your time focused on the body? Why spend all of your energy while you are in this physical body? Why spend all of your energy on something that is temporary? This is an opportunity for you to connect with that spirit. This is an opportunity for you to realize that you have this spirit that is older than time itself. That spirit has always been there. That spirit hasn't been created. That spirit has always been there. You just don't know that because you don't remember anything prior to your birth. And so spending this human life completely absorbed in the human body or completely absorbed with the worldly interactions, all the spiritual masters have said, you know what, you're missing something, you're missing an opportunity to find out more and to connect with it. Because most human beings spend their lives knowing that their life feels a little bit empty. And the reason you feel a little bit empty is because you are this spirit, but you're trying to find happiness elsewhere. You know that there is some happiness in your life that you feel like you deserve, but you look in every other place to try and fill that happiness. And what the spiritual teachings have always said is, no, you need to go within yourself and find that connectedness, that which is a part of the whole universe. When you connect with that spirit, you will realize that you are much more than just this body. The body is here, but the spirit is connected with everything. Your spirit is part of a large network of spirits, and they're all part of this one gigantic being, spirit, universal force. And when we begin to understand that we are part of something greater, we are not just this body, but we are this spirit that is everywhere and connected to everything, that has been called oneness. That has been called non-duality. This idea that we are not a separate being, that this body is separate from every other person or every other thing outside. We are actually a spirit or a life force that is totally connected to everything. When you connect with that life force is fundamentally at peace. That life force inside you does not have a beginning, middle, and end. It is beyond time itself. It's always there. Whether this body is there or not, this life force is always there. So the things that we try and fill our time with, the things that we try to get happiness from, those things are always temporary. And when we connect with temporary things, we only ever experience temporary happiness. So the spiritual wisdom has said, go and find that which is not temporary, but that which is permanent inside each and every one of us.